everyone, I'm Rosie, I'm the book hobbit. I want to talk to you guys about Variant by Robison Wells. It's his debut book. The sequel feedback just came out recently, I think like October 2nd. I'm still dying to get it and I can't believe I don't have it yet, but I don't have a car or any way to get to a bookstore and woe is my life. I wrote a blog post about this, a review of it earlier this week. I love this book. I thought it was fantastic. It's a dystopian thriller mystery kind of book, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it with you guys because I got really into it, and I know that there are some people out there who are also really into it. So Variant is about a guy named Benson, and let me just read the book flat for you guys, like a cool person. Benson Fisher thought that a scholarship to Maxfield Academy would be the ticket out of his dead-end life. He was wrong. Now he's trapped in a school that's surrounded by a razor wire fence, a school where video cameras monitor his every move, where there are no adults, where the kids have split into groups in order to survive, where breaking the rules equals death. But when Benson stumbles upon the school's real secret, he realizes that playing by the rules could spell a fate worse than death, and that escape, his only real hope for survival, may be impossible. So he's stuck in this school, Maxfield Academy, which is super creepy because it's got all of these people in it who just seem to go with it. There are no adults, there's no supervision, there's no way to escape. And they get like things sent up through the closets, like a little elevator shaft, but they can't go down the elevator shaft, and there's like detention, which is this evil like place, and you don't know what happens to people there, but they're presumed to have died. And it sort of just keeps getting creepier and creepier, and so Benson shows up at this school and he meets this girl named Becky, and she's just like, you know, these are the rules, this is how you go with it, and he's very confused by it, thinks she's insane. And then there's the different factions, which are like Society, Havoc, and Variant. So Society is people who go by the rules and they follow the rules, and they're the biggest one, and then Havoc is people who break the rules and they're kind of like the gang that's kind of underground and wants to just fight all the time. And then there's Variant, which is sort of everybody else, and they're the ones who sort of maybe want to escape or don't really want to follow the rules. And so Benson ends up in Variant, and it's just really interesting to read about it. It's kind of, okay, if anybody's read The Maze Runner by James Dashner, it's very similar in a lot of respects because it's about a guy who's stuck in a situation and it's seemingly impossible to get out. And the narration is very similar. I noticed a couple of similar themes, but I actually liked Variant much better than The Maze Runner. I loved The Maze Runner. The Maze Runner was great, but Variant was a little bit more central, I felt. The Maze Runner felt very out there, like I didn't know really where it was set or what to think of it, where to place it in my own experience, whereas Variant felt very real and in the present. So that was really interesting to me. I have a friend who likes Maze Runner better for the exact same reason, because she feels like Maze Runner is way more out there, and it was just really interesting to hear about that. So if any of you guys have read both, I'd love to hear which one you liked better. And if you even thought they were similar, because I know that maybe I'm just crazy and I think they're similar. Maybe you don't. I do want to talk about the characters of this book because they are, for the most part, very well done. All the male characters were really interesting. I felt like they were all different. There's like Isaiah, and you can't really like get them too mixed up. Isaiah and like I think his name's Curtis. Is that right? Curtis? I don't remember. That's bad. Yes, Curtis. I should know that. He was my favorite. Curtis is super swoon-worthy. He's very handsome and wonderful. So that was really good. I didn't feel like I got them confused or anything. The female characters were more, I don't want to say weak, but they just weren't as strong as the male characters. So they weren't weak in terms of like a really weak character. They were just not as well done. I felt like a lot of the female characters sort of blended together and that they kind of had the same traits or the same feeling around them. And I think this has to do with the fact that Benson, he seems to have like crushes on a couple of them. There's a few that seem to be love interests. Like at first I thought that he and Lily were going to get together, and it turns out that Lily is totally with his roommate. And then he's into Jane. And then later, it seems like he's into Becky, and there's all this like weird stuff going on, which I don't really understand which woman is his. So that was a little bit confusing for me, and I had trouble with it. I wish that the different female characters had been a little bit more differentiated between each other, because they all seem to have similar speech patterns and similar ways of thinking about things. Basically, any of the characters that seem to be love interests were very similar, whereas the other female characters who weren't, like Carrie, who is Curtis's girlfriend, she was totally interesting, and I thought she was awesome. And then there was Laura, who totally hates Benson's guts, so, and she was very different and interesting. So the characters were pretty good. I loved the plot, love the plot. The ending was, oh my gosh, mind-blowing. The second half of this book blew me away. The first half was very, like, kind of like high school-y, and then they had like a school dance, and I was like, oh lord, really? But then there was this massive plot twist, and it was incredible, and I set the book down to call my friend to be like, oh my god, this just happened, and she laughed at me because she did the same thing when she got to that point. But it's this amazing plot twist just in the middle of the book that changes the whole rest of the book for you. And the ending is this epic cliffhanger, and I'm dying for the next book, so I'm gonna go out and get that as soon as I can. So, I'd love to talk about this book with any of you guys. If any of you guys have read the sequel, don't tell me about it yet because I haven't read it. But I will probably do another review for it when it comes out, or when I get to read it, because it's already out. So you guys should all check out this book. It's awesome. Variant by Robison Wells. And if you haven't read the sequel yet, that's Feedback by Robison Wells. He's Dan Wells' brother. So if you haven't checked out Dan Wells' books yet either, you should do that because Dan has amazing books. He writes the John Cleaver series and Partials, which was awesome. So you guys should all go check those out, and I will see you guys later. Bye!